All right. So, across many tangents I actually have with my cousin, like on a daily basis, he actually did mention me this one video by Comic Storium about content creators are ruining the games that we all play, and for the life of me, the amount of tangents me and my cousins have are ridiculous. We would just go off between a whole different conversation, and then he just talk about one thing, I talk about another, and then sidebar. But I didn't know what he was talking about because, like, I'm a huge fan of Comic Historian. I haven't watched a lot of his recent videos, I guess I'd say of the past year. Mostly because, I'm not really too into the comic book stuff. That's just my opinion. It's just it. But I like back in high school, which sad to say it was like 9 years ago at this moment. Nine almost. Not even those actually. Wait, whoa, 10 years now. It's been 10 years, over 10 years, really. Wow, over a decade. For a decade ago, I've been in high school. Um, yeah, that's wow. Anyway, let me get back on track. Uh, I'm a huge fan of Comic Historian, and I was told about this video by my cousin. So on the whole spectrum of this whole idea that content creators are ruining the game, this actually goes into like Genshin, Wuthering Waves, and even Fortnite for whatever reason. So we're gonna give this a quick watch, and yeah, I'm gonna pause it every once in a while to give my thoughts and opinions and everything else. I did watch like for the first 3 minutes of it, but everything else is gonna be pretty new because a lot of it was really just about what my cousin was really talking about. So I'm just gonna go in.
We content creators aren't ruining everything, are we?
Biggest fucking losers in the world. Because this season is absolute dog fucking water. If I was a 5-year-old that still loved cool cars, I would be having the time of my life.
All right, not gonna lie. Um, Now this is like my third time watching this specific clip because, like I said, I watched the first 3 minutes of it. Uh, this was kind of spreading like wildfire on Twitter because really this is just Ninja going off about Fortnite, and I guess now in this day and age, it's kind of like, oh wow, this is kind of par for the course, really. But I mean, for what it's really worth, I get where he's coming from in terms of showing passion for a game and then it going completely left field. I was like that with Destiny, and a lot of people are like that with a lot of other games. So, we'll let this play out a little bit though.
I'm a 32-year-old grown man that likes to fucking shoot things, right, in video games. And now I have to drive a vehicle around and pray that I run into people that have a worse vehicle than me. Right? A 2-year-old, that baby for the Four Seasons, who wants to go to the Four Seasons Orlando. Me! You could give that kid a controller and he could probably kill me 7 out of 10 times if he had the turret.
I mean, to be fair, that's I I get where Ninja's coming from. I genuinely do. I get that. I get that because I'm like that with Destiny as well. Uh, I and it never used to be like that for me in Destiny, but like now it is, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. But yeah, let's continue.
And was just driving around.
I think you need a no.
Yeah, I need fucking
So
something.
you're probably wondering where I'm going with this. You see, recently I got really into a game called Wuthering Waves. I've been following this company
W. Like a buyer said, I like her.
since their first game, Punishing Gray Ravens, and this game coming out is something that I'm very excited that they're
I didn't watch. I didn't play PGR. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Like if it's a good game, should I play it on stream one of these days? Let me know.
going to be making. By looking up trailers and stuff from the official channel, YouTube and Twitter and everything has decided to start bombarding me with content creator content. Now that makes sense. It sounds weird
Content creator content.
when you say it out loud, but it makes sense. And that means that I'm getting bombarded with videos such as, don't make these mistakes day one, Wuthering Waves.
Now, to be fair, I feel like that's just the nature of content, and I mean, like my face is blocking like one of the thumbnails, but right here. But that's just the nature of content with gotcha games is the fact that everyone is trying to be the number one spot for everything, like, for everything related to that specific content. So when it comes to this, there are going to be videos spamming these things. And it was like that for Genshin. It's going to be like that for Wuthering Waves. It's going to be like that for Azure Premilia. It's going to be like that for Project Mugen. You can't really escape that. That's just the nature of content.
Best builds based on closed beta, whatever. And my favorite, Wuthering Waves, is going to die. Now, clicking any of these in particular videos is going to lead you to a person that says that they've already put in 10 to 20 hours, they've already been putting in tons of time on a daily basis, and they can tell you this game isn't going to make it in the long run. And this got me thinking. Content creators, from Twitch streamers to YouTubers to guys reading a bunch of comic books, we are very jaded, which causes a problem for our content. You see, the short story of all of this is, it pays
Just so you know, I am pulling for Yinlin, not because of what people are talking about with that last scene there, but in all honesty, I genuinely am just pulling her for utility. She's a really good electro buffer if you didn't already know from the closed beta test and what especially from what he's talking about, from what Betty's talking about. But yeah, it's from there. Uh that's the only reason why I was actually gonna skip Yinlin because I wanted to get Cheng Li. But yeah, that's what we're doing.
to hate things. People love to click rage bait titles that say things like, Wuthering Waves is going to overtake Genshin, or Wuthering Waves is going to die out now, or this is why DC Comics sucks now, or over here is why Fortnite is going to die, or Minecraft is on its last leg. And the people that are making these videos are also playing hundreds upon hundreds of hours of this content, or reading hundreds and hundreds of hours of DC Comics or Marvel Comics. I'm pointing at myself if you're listening to this. You see, what happens to us content creators is the exact same thing that happens to you normally when you consume too much of the same thing. We get burnt out of it and we begin to hate on it. But while I have the benefit of being able to swap from DC Comics to Marvel Comics to manga to something else to kind of reinvigorate my love for the medium, people in the gaming sphere, not so much, which
That I can agree with. That point I could definitely agree with. That take I could definitely understand. Because again, that's how I was with Destiny 2. I didn't like PvP when Solar 3.0 came out. Solar 3.0, in my opinion, ruined PvP. Uh, the introduction of Radiant and Restoration killed the game for me in terms of PvP. Everyone said that it was the Invis spam and overshields and everything else that was going on with Void 3.0, which was the start of season of the not season of the witch, but Witch Queen. But that's not entirely true, at least in my perspective. But that's just me in my opinion. After which I reinvented my content from doing PvP to PvE, and you see where my Twitch channel went from there. So that was pretty lucrative. But hey, here we are now with Genshin. I'm liking where I'm at right now. It's pretty. I get to be myself, which is great. It's awesome. I'm greatly appreciated. And here we are talking about this stuff.
causes a lot of issues. It's actually the reason I stopped live streaming. We've all seen the clips of like Ninja, a Twitch streamer if you haven't heard, who plays a lot of Fortnite, freaking out about playing Fortnite. Or the people having issues with the current modern day Call of Duty and then freaking out because current Call of Duty isn't very good. Or going crazy because Overwatch 2 isn't doing as well as Overwatch 1. But what all of these content creators seem to forget is that there is a ton of people who
Look, my thought process on Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, uh, I actually hate where it's at right now only because I was really into the story and the world building that Overwatch has, and the idea of Overwatch 2 completely being about story and PvP, I thought that was great. They had a whole like system for characters to have specific builds and different ults, and that completely got scrapped. So hey, Overwatch 2 is literally just Overwatch 1. Yeah, it's like it's like the Krusty Krab and Krusty Krab 2 if you have not watched SpongeBob the movie. Like I, who hasn't watched that? Have you watched it? Let me know in the comments if you watched the SpongeBob movie.
don't care about what the internet thinks and just want to play these games. And I'm as guilty as anyone else, sitting here complaining about Marvel and DC comic books, but how many people do you know get to read every single book every week? It creates a very jaded situation where you come to hate the thing that you're doing. And when you come to hate the thing that you're doing, you begin to look for problems with it because you're trying to justify your hatred of it. Your hatred can't be that you're spending 10 hours a day on one video game. Your hatred must be coming from the game you are playing. That is where videos such as, this game is a failure, this game is dead on arrival, what are we going to do, seem to stem out of. Whenever I see a video like that or a post like that, I look into it and it's somebody who made an entire career playing the game. The people who are hating on Destiny 2 right now are people who played way too much Destiny 2. Because if you're the average individual who gets to play these video games or read these comics or go to events, then on average you get maybe an hour a night to spend time with these games and to spend time with what is going on. Meaning you don't care if guy who spent 1,000 hours on Destiny is mad at it at this point. It means that you're currently at hour 10 and you're still just enjoying baseline Destiny. I have an example from my own life, an anecdote, if you will, that I can.
I mean, the thing is the fact that this conversation, even including Destiny, even including Genshin, even including HSR, even including Wuthering Waves right now, I've said this, but we're going to use the Wuthering Waves argument right now. There is an echo leveling system like debacle that's going on, and it's being, as of right now, from what I've seen, it is being addressed and it is going to be fixed in 1.1, so we don't have to worry about it, which is good. That's great. It's fantastic. But a lot of the problems with the ecosystem right now is the fact that there's not enough resources to level them. But the game came out like last week almost. The game just came out. So a lot of their issues with Wuthering Waves is just that we're not able to level everything at day one, which that's true. We're not supposed to. That's the whole idea. Like, we're supposed to log in every day to get X, Y, and Z materials to get things done. That's the point. So the argument with Destiny is the fact that it's the same thing. You're not supposed to really rush through the content. Like, it's kind of why I stopped playing to get bounties back into for Destiny 2 and in the later updates, or like the most recent updates, is the fact that I'm not playing as much. And on top of that, if I'm playing hourly, like if I'm playing on a daily basis, hourly basis, every minute, every second, then hoarding bounties doesn't really matter. You'll like getting to that finish line doesn't make any sense if you're not doing day one raiding for Destiny 1. I'm sorry, for Destiny raids, Destiny 2 raids. Sorry, my mistake. I'm so sorry. So very sorry. If you're not bounty hoarding for Destiny 2, for the day one raid, then what are you doing it for? There's nothing there for you. What are you doing? Doesn't make any sense. It's just what are you doing? In any case.
Draw upon as an example of this situation. Because don't I seem to have a lot of these? I always have something related to the topic I'm making. It's like I plan these out like that. Anyway, on my podcast channel, we brought in a brand new YouTuber who was huge on TikTok. He had finally hit a level of fame where people recognized who he was. And he came to me all excited about this because he wanted to be a part of our project, because he wanted to be more inside of the Marvel and DC TV show and movie system. He got all excited, and the first year he joined us was literally traveling around the world with his newfound fame and the luxuries that come out of when you first get big on YouTube. And he would always ask me, Benny, come to this convention with me. Benny, I got a ticket to this red carpet, come with me. Benny, do this, do that. And I would always tell him, I'm all set, I'm good. Now, that makes me sound either crazy introverted or very full of myself. But what it really comes down to is very jaded on the whole situation. You see, I've been doing what I do for 12 to 13
I mean, he has a right to go and not to go. I mean, if his friend is getting upset that Benny's not going to an event that he's going to, maybe his friend should just not worry about it. Benny has a whole bunch of other channels that he's you know doing himself. He has his own thing he's working on. It's not like he's not doing anything with his life.
years. I've done, I think, at least one time every major convention in the United States. I've been invited to multiple red carpet things, and this is not me trying to brag, because what eventually happens is you just get tired of doing it. You get very jaded and you don't want to go. While a normal person would be told, hey, I got us red carpet tickets to go see, I don't even know what Marvel movie it was at the time, didn't do well, but whatever one it was, a normal person would go, yes, I so want to do that, let me figure it out. When you've started to do this stuff so much, you just don't care anymore. And this relates to what is going on with the world of video games. You have people that are trying to make their bones, trying to be that new YouTuber, and they find themselves a niche video game. When they get big into the niche video game, they then do nothing but play the niche video game, which almost turns them into the worst person ever to actually get advice on your niche video game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my face is covering the name of the guy he's getting the clip from, but he's getting his he's you know, he's I'm not sure if he's throwing shade at this content creator, but he's getting his video from Rick Kakis. So my opinions on Rick Kakis, honestly, I think he's an okay dude. I haven't met the guy. I haven't watched his videos in a little bit, but I mean, there's content for everybody. So, I mean, I don't think he has bad advice. He has his own advice, but I think that's pretty fair and pretty neutral, I suppose. It's not for me.
These people are going to throw out things such as metas and builds in a game like Destiny or League of Legends, but when they're playing the game 1,000 hours a week, they're going to have a skill level way beyond us, the average individual. And
I gotta put my face cam back on. I'm a dumbass.
they're going to have opinions that you cannot replicate. And it's coming out of the fact that this is all that they do. And that goes back to my situation with the guy who invited me to do a bunch of things. Another great example I have of that is my wife is from France, which means I go to Paris every couple of years. And a lot of people, when I say, hey, I'm going to Paris with my wife to see her family, the reaction is, oh, it's so lovely, you're going to love it, you're going to have a great time. But after the 6th trip to Paris, and every time them bringing me to the Eiffel Tower, it's just a piece of metal in the middle of the city. There's nothing cool about it at this point. Again, anybody else would be
I mean, yeah, yeah. And that's kind of everyone's opinion about Genshin, where it's just like, I mean, biggest example, is the anniversary awards. I mean, hey, you get 3 wishes. It's gonna be the same 3 wishes every year almost. like, like, you know, wouldn't you want more than 3 wishes? I'm just, I'm just saying, it's a little bit weird.
like, oh my god, I'm going over to the Eiffel Tower, this is going to be amazing. And again, I'm not trying to brag. I'm going over to see the in-laws. It's not as much fun as you want to make it seem like it is. When you end up doing things over and over and over and over, the thrill isn't there. You begin to hate on it, and you're trying to find a rationale why you don't want to go. Logically, I can look at my trips to Paris and just say, because every single time I go, I get irritated because it's the same tourist attractions because they think I want to see it when I go, so we spend a whole day, and I go do this whole thing in Paris, and then I spend the other 13 days of our 2-week trip sitting in a house on the countryside doing nothing fun. It's not a fun trip. I'm not a big fan of it at this point, but it was amazing those first couple of times. So what I'm getting at is I firmly
Isn't it fun to be relatable saying that, you know, you're not into going out? Yeah, I myself don't like touching grass either. If you don't like touching grass, hit the like button, hit the sub button. Hey, maybe go over twitch.tv/heybrett and and tell me your opinions on touching grass. I would like to know.
believe that we've entered into an era where content is mostly focused on rage-inducing content that people need to, you gotta click this to get my opinion. One thing that really gets on my nerves is the vague content stuff, which I'll admit we've done on this channel because that's how YouTube has grown, but I hate it. I hate making a title like, these YouTubers ruined their career, because you're just, something in your brain goes, what YouTubers? That's what you do. You know, this game killed itself before it launched. Like, the vague title just to make you click it. I hate that this is where YouTube is going, and this is what I have to do to make a channel work. But it's what everyone is doing. Everyone wants to make the rage bait titles, which is easy when you have been surrounding yourself with that one thing that everyone else is enjoying, but you are getting jaded about, and therefore you want to quantify why you're beginning to hate it. Back when I used to do Twitch streaming, I played entirely on Final Fantasy XIV. That was my big game. After so long, I was just looking for things to not like in Final Fantasy XIV. When I stopped playing it on stream, suddenly I enjoyed myself again. I just had a great time playing the game again. So that's pretty much it.
I mean, same. Like, I took a break from Destiny. I'm enjoying it for what it is, even though a lot of it is really just them shovel feeding you the same shit over again. I feel like that's what this last DLC and seasons of this DLC was about, just them shoveling you the same shit, you know? But that's just me. That's what I think.
At this point, I think I'm going to talk in circles on this topic, but overall, what I'm getting at is, what do you think? Do you think content creators surrounding themselves with nothing but that game or that product hundreds and hundreds of hours a week is causing problems? Is it creating a situation where they're just so jaded they don't understand what a regular person would feel like with an event? Because that's how I feel. I feel we're at a point where I just need to ignore all of YouTube. Don't ignore me though. I'm amazing. You want to hit that button? You got to hit that subscribe. I need to do more cool stuff.
Hey, so that's a call to action, guys. Like I said, hit sub, hit like, on me and Benny. Benny Has Problem. I'll link his video in the description as well. If you want to share your opinions on, to him, or hey, maybe you want to share your opinions to me. You never know. But I feel like Benny does have a point, essentially, on with this whole video. If you're playing hours in the day, you're burning yourself out. That's just really what it is. It's just burnout, and that's fair. That's fair. I feel like where the content creators are able to explore that side of the game, where they're at the finish line already and being able to review and talk about it, I feel like that's fine because it addresses the issues earlier, so that this way it can get fixed up on a later point, so it's better for the people that actually get to that finish line as well. That's my take on it. Will they ever get fixed and adjusted? Who knows? But I feel like with Wuthering Waves, especially with today, with the most recent news, they have been completely transparent, and they have been listening to us, and they're fixing everything in terms of the ecosystem, I think the weapons, everything, and I think it is awesome. I'll talk more about it tomorrow. In any case, hit like, hit sub. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll be streaming. You know me. I stream daily. As soon as these videos come out, I'm most likely live on twitch.tv/HeyBrett. And yeah, I'll see you guys there. Love you guys. Wash your hands, wash your face. I fucking love you guys. Y'all take care. Later.